Hey, how's it going, everybody? Just a little check here. It's first time doing this thing, so as you've seen in the past, just give me a sign that you guys are tuned in. A coworker mentioned at the meeting earlier that there's a 60-second lag, so I'll just ramble for about 60 seconds and check in, make sure things are good. But I'm on the CFP Halifax site. We're live. Welcome to Spryfield, my living room, where we're going to do a Hatha style yoga class. What is Hatha? Essentially, it's a body focused yoga practice. Just let me check in here. I see something popping up. Okay, awesome. I see the base commanders watching, Captain David Mazur. I've had the privilege of meeting the base commander on multiple occasions, especially on the last Wednesday of every month at our base walks starting at Stad Garden. I'd like to take this time to thank all the people in the military that are actually doing serious work for us. It's easy to lose sight of how important this is, but disaster relief, civic problems, issues abroad, and it's not us doing it. We have a capable staff. I've met many of these people, highly intelligent, highly capable, and my job, in concert with the rest of my team, is to make sure that we send the fittest people to the various requirements of this important job. So I know that we're good. I see everyone's comments coming up here. I just want to talk a little bit about my team. So I'm also in the same situation as you, trying to make the most of this. I'm just going to my TV and tuning into the workouts there with this space. And I did everyone's except Brianna's, and it's been awesome. I feel great. My mental health is flourishing. I feel like I've tightened up a little bit, and I'm going to keep going with that. Pretty much doing a daily practice. So it's a good way to get out of your mental, physical rut. We're sitting around a little bit too much, and a good way to earn your meals and your showers. Okay? I'm going to talk a little bit, and we will get going, I promise. We'll get a good warm-up going here soon, but I want to talk about balance and cross-training. So all the things we've seen, like I've done Mary's class, Lucas did his class, Emily's class, they were all great, and they're all kind of compounding on each other, and we're going to just keep going with that theme. I want to make sure we know it's important to rest and have a balance in our training program. We need to stay positive with our thoughts, and being physically active is certainly a good way to do that. Drink lots of water, herbal tea, watch our diets. We want to stay focused, and we want to get out in nature sometimes. We can still isolate in nature, go for that isolated hike, that kind of thing. Today's class is not exactly a traditional yoga class. You won't hear me use any language other than English, but I just want to point to the truth, and we'll do that together. I'm a big proponent of holistic wellness. So your finances, your emotional well-being, our physical state, all these things are important. Okay? Just going to check in here and see some interesting stuff. What's going on, Jeff? Nice to see you on here. I knew you were going to be here. Some of us are working out 2-3 times a day. That's not me. I'm just doing every workout once. Okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into a warm-up. Okay? So I'm going to try to face the camera kind of like this, unless I need to access my mat, in which case I have a slight angle here, so you can kind of see me side view. I just want to keep it simple because I don't have a cameraman here today, or person, sorry. So for the warm-up, let's go ahead and stand near the front of the mat. Leave yourself about 6 inches. That's so that when we come forward, we can place our hands in front of the feet and still be on the mat. Okay, so let's get ourselves in a comfortable squatting position, about hip width apart with the feet perhaps slightly outturned. We're going to tighten up the core, shoulders down and back, and we're going to breathe in as we come into this prayer position squat, opening things up, and then exhale as we come up. We're going to keep that hand position, baby fingers back. We're going to squeeze the glutes, core in tight, and do a bit of a reverse fly. Okay, we're going to work on hip range of motion here. The inhale, Exhale, working on that posture. We're just going to do 15 of these with our breath. So that's 3. Inhale. Exhale, bring it back. Squeeze your postural muscles, core's in tight. Put me on that big screen, why not? Get a good look. 6, let's make sure we're breathing. It's going to be smooth and moderate intensity with the goal to feel better. 5 left of these. Really getting into our breath. Wiping that mental state nice and clean. Last 3. Last 1. Okay, we can shake that out a little bit there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work on some hinging, and we're going to do that same position basically. What we're going to do now is, I might as well face you, is we're going to breathe in and reverse swan dive, sweep the arms up like so. Full extension here, like you're going to dive and hit the water, and as you're exhaling, we're going to come into a slight bend of the knee. We're going to come forward like we're going to dive off the blocks at a swim meet for like short distance. Okay, so let's keep that going. Breathe in, sweep it up. Exhale, we're going to just go into that off the blocks position. It's very similar to your deadlift position. Breathe in, sweep it up. Just going to do about 10 of these. Again, have a look on the profile. Kind of get an idea, especially when it comes to my back position. We're hinging. Okay, inhale. Just a few more like that. Last one. Okay, yeah, now I remember what I was going to say. So I called this class a Hatha Yoga fundamental class. So basically the goal is to use the physical practice to prepare for meditation or deep rest, that kind of thing. So it's going to be good if we balance this all out. What we're going to do now is, let's go ahead and get into a hands and knee position. So we're at the front of the mat. The hands are within the boundaries of the mat, underneath the shoulder, knees are underneath the hips. Okay, so we're in this tabletop position with a neutral spine to start, core is active. Okay, we're going to do cat and cow to limber up the spine. Okay, we'll make this progressive. Let's go ahead and breathe in, looking up, hips rotate up. Exhale as we push the shoulders forward and around the spine. Okay, in a concave position. Okay, inhale. I'm going to have that backwards. We can talk about that later. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, look up, hips up. Exhale, pushing it forward, getting a little bit of range out of your spine, warming it up. Just keep going at about that cadence. We got 5 more of each. We're not going to rush. It's going to be a moderate intensity flow through a bunch of stuff. Chin tucked in your cat. Last 2. Chin up, hips up. Exhale, chin tucked. Pelvis forward, squeeze those shoulders forward, core's tight. Last 2. Okay, we can go ahead and stand up, kind of shake it out. I'm gonna take these socks off, no real need. It's kind of warm in here, as you can tell. I'm doing basically hot yoga. It's not that bad, but it is nice and warm. I'm sweating a little extra. It's not gonna hurt if you're not right next to a wood stove, but feels good. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is get into the sun salutation flow, a modified series first, so that we can get the swing of it. Feel free when we move on to the unmodified versions to stay there at the modified level. It's fine. At any point in time, it's okay to just take a standing break, lay down, child's pose, go to your kitchen, grab a glass of water. It's all going to be fine. Here we go with the first idea of what the sun salutation flow is. Standing at the front of your mat, a little space for your hands. Breathe in, reverse swan dive. Exhale as we hang forward, forward fold. Head hangs nice and heavy with the exhale. Bend the knees, plant the hands. Let's go ahead and step back with our left foot into a kneeling position with our chin up, chest up. Exhale as we take the other leg back, knees about as wide as your mat, into child's pose. Push the hands forward, fingers open. Inhale as we shift the hips forward into a modified high plank. Exhale as we slowly lower, elbows close to the ribs. When we get close to the ground, straighten your legs, tighten the glutes, shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale, come on up a bit. Exhale as we smoothly shift back into child's pose. Inhale, step with your right foot. Chin up, chest up. Pressing off the back toes, we're going to come to the front of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Big knee bend, set your spine to neutral. Inhale, sweep those arms up, reverse swan dive. And exhale as we go into a chair position with the hands overhead. Core's tight. That's one. One more of those modified series. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend those legs, place the hands. Left foot steps back, kneeling position, chin up, breathe in. Exhale as we come back into child's. Inhale, shifting it all forward, modified high plank. Exhale, slowly lower. Legs are straight, glutes tight. Inhale, come on up a bit. Exhale, shifting back to child's. Inhale, right foot steps forward. Press off the back foot, meet the front. Exhale, forward fold. Knee bend, neutral spine. Inhale, sweep it up. And exhale, going back into chair. Okay, we're going to go one more time now, unmodified. Inhale, sweep it up. Or again, do the same routine. Exhale, forward fold. Now inhale, left foot steps back. Rear leg is straight, palms forward, shoulders back. This is a runner's lunge, or you can do that kneeling posture. Find the ground in front. Exhale, stepping into downward facing dog. Okay, so we have the hands open, pushing the hips back, heels tend towards the floor, core's tight. Inhale as we shift into a unmodified plank, or continue to do from the knee. Exhale, slowly lower. Now, without the hips touching, flip the feet. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, smoothly back to downward dog. Big knee bend, step forward with the right foot. And it's runner's lunge, other side. Big powerful step forward to the front of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Knee bend, neutral spine. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, back to chair. Okay, one more like that. Breathing in, inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, forward fold. It's all worth it, all the reps. We're getting loose. Knee bend, stepping back with our left foot into runner's lunge with the inhale. Find the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift it all forward. Exhale, slowly lower. Flip the feet, upward facing dog. Exhale, back to downward dog. Knee bend, let's step forward with our right foot. Runner's lunge other side. Big step forward. Exhale, forward fold. Knee bend, neutral spine, inhale, sweep it up. Now let's put our feet together and exhale as we come into a chair pose, hands above, okay? We're just gonna hold this for 4 breaths. The recommended is 3 to 5, we'll go with the middle ground. I got a sweat on already. Lower back feels good. Inhale as we stand up, reverse swan dive. And exhale as we forward fold. This time let the head hang heavy and for 4 breaths. Micro bend in the knee. Just enjoy that lengthening of your hamstrings, your lower back. Last big breath. Okay, deep knee bend, and we'll just kind of come out of that. Take a little rest here for a second. I just want to show you something. So it's kind of not so obvious how to get in a downward dog. So I'm just going to give some of those people that don't normally do yoga all the time an idea of how to get there. So from a high plank, from your high plank position, this is the distance for your hands and feet. Leave about a foot between hands and feet, and then you just push back. Okay? Same idea. Okay, so that's how you can kind of get in there. It's the same distance as your front plank. Alright, so feeling limber. We got our general warm-up in, kind of the yoga-specific sun salutation flow series. Now we're going to go ahead and come to the mat. We're going to adopt a child's position, okay? So let's start with knees mat width, feet together, such that when we reach forward, our hands are still on the front of the mat. So we're going to sink back, core is tight, nice flat back, shoulders are still down, fingers spread, tending the hips towards the heels as we breathe here for a few breaths. We're setting our mental focus, taking a little breather from some of that work there that isn't zero effort. Even a slight chin tuck here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our right side about 30 degrees or so and posture up the same way. Breathe in, tight core. Exhale as we kind of lower our center mass in this position, getting an extra stretch through the lats, your major back muscles. Okay, carefully coming over to the other side. I'm probably going 30 degrees. Let's posture up and exhale into this position. Again, I'm not worried about competing here. We're just going to do something that's better for us. And that return on investment when it comes to personal stuff is always good. Wow, that heat feels good. All right, now that we did that, we're going to go ahead and place our hands near the front of the mat and come on up into a front plank. Okay, so we're just going to, and you can do this from the knees, no problem. We're just going to keep priming that core, work with the other staff along with what they're doing. This is a little less intense than what we did last couple days, but it feels good to keep that active. Okay, what we're going to do now is shift into that downward dog. Deep knee bend, let's step forward with our right foot. Okay, keep all 4 points of contact here so you can balance. And choose a distance of your feet that you're going to be able to have a good strong base of support for a lunge hold. Okay, when you find that, tighten up. Inhale, come on up here. Hands at heart center. I like heart center because it's nice and focused. It's introspective. It gets me grounded. An option here, big breath in. Opposite arm to the front leg and come over here like so. And open up the chest, facing about 45. One more breath only. Inhale, back to heart center. Find the front of the mat, step back into downward facing dog smoothly. Deep knee bend, let's step forward with the left foot. 4 points of contact here. Make it nice and solid, tighten the core. Inhale to hands to heart center. We're going to set up for that twisting lunge in a second. As an option, breath in. Exhale, come on over here. Inhale, back to hands to heart center. Find the mat, open fingers, step back, downward facing dog, nice and smooth. Let's recover here and feel it out. Some of you are saying, yeah, but this feels like work. It's all relative, right? Let's just linger in this relative reprieve. Okay, let's go ahead and bend the knees. Let's step again forward with our right foot. Okay, this time we're going to set up for warrior 2. I'll explain that. So we want to leave about a foot distance, or like 3 inches, between your feet. The rear foot is on a 45-degree angle, pointing forward. Okay, you're in about a 3/4 mat length, base of support here, and knife hands, north and south position. Okay, nice and level, shoulders down. We're accepting this lunge. We don't want to have the knee come in. We want to put some lateral engagement there. Okay, let's straighten that leg. And we can come in. We're going to go into triangle. We can post up above the knee and come into this position here with the forearm or the hand. Or you can let that hand kind of drop down, palm facing away from the body, but fingertips hover away from the ground. Core's in and tight. Let's do this for a few breaths. Gaze is up. Big inhale. Shifting with the exhale back to warrior 2. Just for a couple breaths. Back to straightening. That rear arm's going to go behind your leg on the hamstring. Front arm is perpendicular to the floor, palm facing you. This is called reverse warrior. Let's keep that core in and tight. Dynamic tension through the feet. Really feeling the ground and engaging your legs. Big inhale here. Exhaling as you go back to warrior 2. Big setup, inhale. Now we're going to either post up here and reach, or on the inside of the leg, palm away from the body and reach. It's called extended angle. Get a nice long line from the heel to the fingertips, opening up the hips, strengthening, lengthening the lats, inner thigh, working on stabilizers, and our balance. Okay, and let's go ahead, turn that rear foot forward, find the mat. We'll slow it down just a hair here. Step back into downward facing dog for a transitional pose. Let's feel it out here. I don't think I lingered very much that last time I said that. Feel free to pedal the feet. Perhaps the tension is in your chest. You can just kind of push through the hands, get that chest a little lower to the mat while keeping the shoulders down. Okay, coming back in nice and tight. Knee bend here. We're going to step forward with our left foot. Okay, setting up for setting up for warrior two, other side. Okay. So again, 3 inches of space between feet. Rear foot is 45 degrees facing forward. I'm really sweating here, that's okay. Tight core. Breathe in. We're coming up into the north-south position, other side. Last breath here for 4. Let's straighten that front leg. And again, you can post up here or inside triangle pose, opposite side. Core's in and tight for breath. 4 breaths. Big inhale. Exhaling as we shift back to warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Rear hand touches the back of your hamstring with the palm. Other hand is perpendicular to the floor, palm facing you. Gaze is at the palm. Core's tight, dynamic tension through the legs, shoulders down and back. This is a power pose. It symbolizes an open posture where we're ready to meet challenges. It's good for the mind. It's good for centering what's going on. Big breath in. Exhale back to warrior two. Set up. Inhale. And exhale, we're going to go extended angle other side. 2 options here to post up on your above your knee or inside your leg. Okay, let's turn everything forward, rear foot forward, find your mat and step back into child's pose this time. Let's take a little breather before we move on. Not yet 12:30. Let's try something different with child's pose. Let's put the knees all the way together, feet together, and let's open the hands in front of the mat and push through the palms, sinking the hips towards the heels. Stretch your mat horizontally a little bit with open fingers and see how that opens up your lower back just ever so slightly. But just remember the ever so slight chronic pain we experience when we're watching too many movies. Let's go ahead and take another few breaths here. Just feeling good. I'm trying to teach the importance of balance and programming, the mental game. And you know what? I'm starting to have fun. I do miss you guys, and this is way better than not doing it. In fact, it's awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and just take a step forward carefully. We don't want to lose our balance or get too dizzy. Just stand all the way up and come to within, say, 6 or 8 inches of your front of your mat. Just leave a little space. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into warrior 3. You know what, that being said, we need to be more central. So we'll take our right leg and ground that. We're going to stand with this leg, take the other one, the left and pull it up. I'm doing mirror imaging, so if you're on the TV looking at this, we should be seen to do the same side, like you're looking in a mirror. Okay, start with the hands on the hips, core in and tight, shoulders down and back. Big breath in. Exhaling as we hinge at the hips, leading the heel back till we get into a position that feels reasonable, and we'll come out with the hands like airplane arms, palms down. Try to keep the hips square as we lead that heel back. Really retract those shoulder blades to engage those postural muscles as we balance, stabilize, and open up through the hip. Okay, let's slowly come out of that. Maybe hands back here, foot down. Let's go to the left foot. We'll ground the left around the center of your mat. Hands on the hips. We're going to go ahead and lift the right leg like so. Core's in and tight, shoulders down and back. Big breath in. As we exhale, we're hinging forward at the hip, neutral spine, lead with the heel. When we get in that position where we know we can release the arms, let's do it. Keep those hips square. Work those postural muscles, big retraction with your breath. Okay, let's come on out of that. That feels excellent. We still got some time here. And another thing I meant when I said yoga fundamentals is, you know, there's a lot of flashy stuff we can do, but we certainly need our downward dog, our triangle pose, our bridge, things like this. I just want to make sure that we're doing our homework in regards to fundamentals, and it's going to pay off. It's not always super exciting on the offset, but my argument is it's valuable, and here we are reaping the benefits. I'm feeling great, and I can't wait for that shower after, but let's stay engaged. Let's open up the hips a little bit with the standing posture, okay? Killing a lot of taskings with just one stone. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the center of your mat with our right foot. We're going to take the other one, cross over the knee, and we'll get in this hands at heart center position. If this is challenging, you can either work on it or just kind of work on standing on one leg in general, possibly move it from the front to the side or whatever. Other than that, if you can't get in this position, keep the core tight, breathe in. We're going to exhale the neutral spine as we descend into this one-legged hip stretching squat, I guess. Chin slightly tucked for a long neck. Just a few breaths. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's come on out of that. Step out of it. Switching off to the other side. Now we're on our left leg as the root of the tree or the tree trunk. Getting back in that position if possible. Crossing over the knee. Hands at heart center. Big breath in. Exhaling as we descend and accept that stretch with our breath. Long neck, so chin ever so slightly tucked. Core remains tight. Shoulders are down and back. Okay, let's come out of this. Now's a good time to grab a drink of water. If you're anything like me, you're sweating big time. Probably can't see all the sweat there, but I'm feeling good. Let's just grab a little drink of water. Otherwise, just hold tight for a second. I'm going to check in here, see what you guys are saying. Mr. Fundamental, appreciate that, Isaac. David's going to get this in after the baby goes to bed. I understand. I got a lot of babies in my life. They're not mine, but I love them, and they're the priority. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit more standing balance before we move on. I still have you for another 10 minutes, and I promise we'll be working our way into more leisurely stuff, tapering off at the end of the session. Before we do that, let's get into a gold standard in yoga balance, the tree pose. So let's go ahead with our right foot planted. We can take the other foot and either go below the knee or above the knee. Emphasis on external rotation here. Sometimes it's slippery depending on what you're wearing, but let's try to get into one of those positions. For today, I'm just going to go below the knee and wear shorts next time. Hands at heart center. It's not about just the physical practice. This kind of thing has certainly taken me into a narrow focus where I kind of see the room equally. I'm not really that focused on one particular point, but it's okay that it's not all physical. This is a big deal when it comes to the mind and finding inner peace. That's one of the goals of today. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's go ahead on the other side. So this is my right leg, but I'm saying left. And same thing as the other side, but the setup. Externally rotate at the hip. Core is tight, shoulders down and back. Hands at heart center. I just like this centering. Other people like to feel expanded. It's up to you. You can do the tree branch arms if you want to. Okay, that's pretty good for now. Let's go ahead and get into the rest of this stuff. So we're standing. There's a little standing work to do. Feet together near the top of your mat. We're going to inhale, sweep the arms up, thumbs back. When we get here, let's interlace the fingers and leave the index out like the church there from childhood. Extend at the elbows. Shoulders still stay down. Glutes are tight and they stay tight to protect our back. So keep those glutes tight, core tight, breathe in. Exhaling as we go to the left side. With our inhale, making sure we're postured. With the exhale, kicking the hips to the side and extending and reaching. Try to keep that head centered. Just a few breaths. Opening up through the hips, lats, shoulders. Last breath. Inhale back to center. Tight glutes, exhale other side. Last breath. It's not a competition, it's just to feel better. Let's let those hands come down, palms forward. This is your mountain pose or anatomical position. We're going to move on and open up the chest, shoulders a little more with something called chest expansion. Okay, don't have a lot of time actually, so I'm going to skip a couple of the other things and focus on that in my later class. Restorative yoga, so some gentler isolation stretches, wrists, neck, that kind of thing. Let's move on and get to the heart of the matter. I'm going to show you side view, so we're going to bring the hands back, interlace the fingers like so, and just to start with, we're just keep the hands in the tailbone area, pull those shoulders back as we keep the core nice and tight with our breath. For starters. Okay, feet together, we're going to inhale, set up. Hinging with the exhale as we pull the hands away from the back. Try to stack those shoulders together and keep a tight grip. It'll help improve your range as we hinge. Really pull those shoulders together. Okay, coming out of that slowly with a neutral spine. Let's release that. And we're going to move on. We're going to go down to the ground actually. We still have time to get there. We'll get into a hip flexor stretch. So what we're going to do is come close to the back of your mat, take a knee, other leg comes forward like so. Relax the foot by having the top of your foot in contact with the mat. And in this position, core's tight. Breathe in. Exhale as we lean forward, feeling that stretch in the hip flexor. The opposite arm to this bent leg, we can raise it up. And as we lean in, just a little bit of a side bend, and you'll see how that kind of opens you up a little bit more. Okay, coming out of that, let's just change that position. I see a lot of comments from back here. I just can't see the details. I'm definitely curious to go through that in a minute here. Okay, let's switch the foot. Take a big step forward. Setting up here on the top of your leg. Breathe in. Tight core. Exhale as we lean forward. Opposite arm to the bent leg. Breathe in. Exhale with a little bit of a side bend. I think we're going to have time to get through the plan here. Let's come out of this and go right into a kneeling straddle split. Okay? I'm not going to point out which side's which. It's not going to be that hard to follow. One knee is close to the edge of your mat. The other foot is straight, and we'll walk it away from that bent knee. This leg stays at about 90 degrees. Relax the foot. Coming out into the front space here. Tight core, breathe in. Descending our center mass with the exhale. And we can even walk that foot out even further if we're feeling it. Nice wide base of support helps us control this stretch on the inside of the leg, the adductors, your groin. Okay, we can heel toe our way out of there. All right, and set it up. Same thing other side. This knee is close to the edge of your mat. Walk that other leg away with the foot. 90 degrees, relax the foot. Come out in front with a wide base of support. Tight core, breathe in. Exhale as we descend that center mass. I'm widening up that base of support so I have full control of how low I go. Let's keep this to our 70-80%. We're not trying to show off. We're trying to be appropriate and lengthen the muscles. Standing up, let's just use the time we do have. We'll have to balance on one leg, grab the foot. You can hold on to something like the wall. We're just going to line up the knees, inhale. Exhale as we push the hips forward by squeezing our glutes. Pulling that foot gently back to stretch out the quads. We can do this by folding backwards like in yoga, but that's a little hard in the back for some. So steering away from tradition from time to time, in my opinion, is valuable because there's other truths than the one path we see set by styles. Let's go ahead, find that other foot, line up the knees, inhale. Exhale as we pull that back and push the hips forward by squeezing the glutes, other side. You know what? As I look through, let's call that a day right there. Sometimes in yoga, you lay down. We'll do more of that in the restorative class. But this hatha approach gets the body moving. It's moderate, flowing fundamentals that will relax you. After this shower, I'm good to chill, maybe watch a movie. Things I might have missed on the plan here. Extra seated hamstring work, more groin stretching, hip bridging, triceps and neck. But we can get to that next time. It's 12:15. You still got a lot of the day left. Another idea with cross training is get outside, get some vitamin D. Just make sure you're on an isolated trail. I got a logging trail just down that way, 4 minutes away from my house, that I can go down. But it is icy, so find something that's not too icy. Remember the importance of staying home, because we don't want to overwhelm the hospitals. That's number one. You don't want to get this thing. You don't want to pass it on to not only your family, but anyone else, anywhere. We're all in this together. Stay safe. I respect our leadership. We live in Canada. That's amazing. Have a great rest of your day.